Hello, Axe here, back in my basement. I just wanted to show off this latest commission. It also acts as an instruction video for the client. So let's go into some detail about the motorized stunt. The motorized stunt can be first seen in A New Hope, right after Alec Guinness pulls the graphics out of the trunk and hands it to Luke. With some movie magic, they switch the graphics out for the motorized stunt, and Luke ignites it and waves it around. That's actually the very first time you see a lightsaber ignite, and to me that's the superstar of the movie, so I've nicknamed this hilt the Superstar. The Kenobi stunt I refer to as the Legend, this one I refer to as the Superstar. So where do we begin? A member on the RPF actually is friends with the man who created these for the original film. So he was kind enough to give us some detailed instructions on how they were put together. He even gave us a little sketch of how they were made and what parts to use. So I've hunted down most of those parts and incorporated them into this build. And just like the real prop, this is all based off of just an aluminum pipe, an 1.5-inch aluminum pipe. And then we dress it up with lightsaber parts. In my build video, if you haven't seen that, I'll have a link in the description below. But in that video, I go through every single step of how I made this. Not one step is skipped. I've gone through every single one. That's why it took me so long to make. There was a lot of editing. So every single step is documented. And if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I call it the emitter cup. Well, the emitter bearing cup. I machine that. That's held in with this set screw here, just like on the real prop. The motor mount. Machine a motor mount. This is my personal Superstar here, and my motor mount's 3D printed. It's a complete 3D printed mount. I kind of like the aluminum idea better, plus it's more original to the prop. So in the video you see me make an aluminum motor mount. Then the motor is pinched underneath the clamp, and then we have the machined end cap. So that's where you start, and then you dress it up with all the lightsaber parts. So starting from the top, we'll work our way down. Roman sponsored this build, so it's all Roman's parts. It's his button. The original prop actually has a single knurled Fulmer button, but nobody makes a replica Fulmer button, so I used his button. I used his glass eye, and these are drilled and tacked to the Graflex thread. Another reason why I went for drilling and tapping the glass eye and the button is because if the owner hunts down a single knurled Fulmer button, he can simply just unscrew it and screw the new one in. Just like if he wants to replace the glass eye with a vintage Fulmer glass eye, he can unscrew this and screw it in. I'm willing to bet the original ones were just holes were drilled and these were glued in place. That's what it looks like to me, at least. I don't think they'd take the time to tap these because it's actually a rather different tap. I don't think you'd have this tap in your prop shop. But so I think the original team just drilled a hole and glued them in there. The beer tab's on here, and we'll come back to that. But throw the beer tab on there. Roman's clamp, Roman's bubble strip, Roman's easy grips, and then we have a vintage button. This is the same exact button they use on the original prop. They're actually very hard to source right now. Can't find them anymore. I only have a couple left. And then in A New Hope, they have this bushing that's in here, or should I say grommet, to protect the wires from chafing on the aluminum. Then in the end, we have a machined end cap with a hole. So the original creator tells us that when they left his shop, they were powered by an audio jack, like mine here. And then for some reason, they changed it and had the power wires come out the side of it. And I'm wondering if it's easier to have the wires go up the after sleeve that way, if it's easier to hide. Granted, you still see them on screen. Now, that's just a little theory that maybe they drilled it from the side so you don't see it coming out the bottom. I don't know. But he actually drew a sketch and showed how it works, and I swear in some scenes you can still see the audio jack sticking out the bottom. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of behind the scenes footage of Empire Strikes Back where they use this still as a dueling stunt, and you can clearly see the audio jack on the bottom. But that's a basic rundown of the parts I used and its construction. You've seen how it's constructed in the video. So this is the battery pack. It's 12 volts. It's got 6 batteries in there. It's got an on-off switch here, and I have this military tactical clip on there. These are very expensive, very, very expensive. And like you've seen in the video, I riveted on there and used that to power the hilt. Then I have the, next up is the wiring harness. Like I said in the video, you just plug it in there and then connect it. The actual prop, these connectors are undone, and they're individual, but I prefer them together because it looks neater. But the real prop is put together like this, and I have some electrical tape matching the negatives. So you want negative and negative and positive to positive. And when you connect them, just make sure you have the black stripe with the black stripe. And then you just turn the power onto the pack, press the button, and she spins. Next up is the blade. This is a 42-inch long blade, made like the originals, with the reflective film on it. You simply slide the blade down, just lightly hold it on there. You don't have to press it in there hard, just lightly put it on there. Tighten one side. There's a channel inside the drive shaft where the set screws lock on. And tighten the other. And then hit the switch. It's that simple. The Allen wrench will come in the box with the hilt. So if you don't see it, make sure you look back in that box and find the Allen wrench. But wait, there's more. We got another one here. So I built 2 of these at the same time. I don't think anybody picked up on that yet either, that there was 2. They're constructed the same exact way, with all the same measurements, all the same parts. It's just a little different. As for differences, this one just has the black shroud, and the graphics clamp is upside down. This is what you see in the post-production photo with Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. It's black and white. There's actually some great public high-resolution photos of it. The reasoning behind the black tip is that Vader used this for a little while. There's plenty of photos with him using his dedicated stunts, and actually the standoff with Vader and Kenobi hitting blades and the Falcon in the background, that's Vader's actual square shroud motorized stunt. For some reason they must have broke. They grabbed Luke's and they just painted the emitter black. So the great debate on the RPF, and you can see me arguing on there, is that 2 of these were made, and it's pretty clear that this one matches all the photos we have and on screen. So quite possibly there could be a second one made, but we haven't seen it yet. The tracks are taken off and replaced, and you can see them moved around. The clamp is switched upside down. At one time this breaks during filming, and they have to take it apart and fix it because it's early on in production and they need it working. So most likely they strip this thing down and put the clamp on upside down. That's the easiest answer, and from what I've seen, that's the only answer. You're just going to have to take my advice. I'm very, very confident, overly confident, that there was only one made for Luke. And realistically, if you think about it, they only needed that for 2 scenes, the hut scene and the Falcon scene. But the beer tab was another hot topic. It sure does look like it's there. I've thrown these on here, but these are removable. You just unscrew the screw and take the tab off and screw it back on. Most likely they just super glued it on because I think, like I said before, the original was probably just a hole drilled and they glued it inside there. But that's the other version of the motorized stunt. So that's a basic rundown of the instructions and how the hilt's constructed and the orientation of all the greeblies for the new owner. But there's 2 of them here, and there was only 1 commission, so the other one is actually the next giveaway. That's right, so we totally bypass our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Blew it out of the water. I can't believe we've gotten this far, and it's still climbing daily. It's still climbing daily. So I wanted to make something really special, and that's when I said, well, I'll do a motorized stunt. So I threw one together for the client and machine stuff all at the same time for the giveaway one. I don't know if it's going to be next Friday or the Friday after. I don't even want to put a date up there because of the way my schedule is right now. I need to dedicate 2 days out of the week to make this happen. One to launch it and one to be able to pull the name. So very, very shortly, we'll be doing a giveaway where you get the motorized stunt, the blade, the battery pack, and the wiring harness complete. This box will come to you. All you got to do is buy 6 AA batteries and you're good to go. It's ready to rock and roll. So that's my token of appreciation of you guys getting me here to 1,000 subscribers. Keep an eye out for the next video on how to enter the giveaway, and I can't thank you guys enough. This is unreal. I can't believe we got here and still climbing. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate friendship. Keep an eye out for the next video. This is Haloax, out.